In this video, as you can see, we are going to look at an introduction to story problems. Just so that you know, this is our first video for the class. We're just gonna wing it at this point. They just want us to jump in and try problems. Okay, so this says a carpenter has a board 100 inches long and 8 inches wide. They make 4 identical shelves and still have a piece of board 28 inches long left over. How long is each shelf? Okay. Now, at this point, what we want to kind of think about is how do you as a student tackle word problems? And you've probably been told, hey, pay attention to numbers. So maybe you come along and start kind of grabbing numbers. So we've got 100 inches, 8 inches, 4, 28. All right, now we need to figure out how the whole thing works together. So again, usually we're told to draw a picture. So this is a board. And this board is 100 inches long and 8 inches wide. Cool, we've got our board. All right, now it says, they make 4 identical shelves and still have a piece of board 28 inches long left over. So here's our board that's left over, and that's 28. This is where our shelves are going to be. So we're going to have 4 identical shelves. Okay. All right, perfect. Now, at this point, we might wonder, hey, do we need everything that I see here? And it turns out that this 8 inches doesn't matter at all. Right? Because we're not talking about the area of the board or the perimeter of the board. We don't need to know about the depth. It talks about how much length is left over. Okay, so probably a lot of you now are seeing how to finish this off. If we subtract 28 from 100, I believe I get 72. And then that 72 is representing this. And I want it in 4 equal bits. So if I take 72 and divide it by 4, I believe I'm going to get 18. Okay, so we can always check our work. So if this is 18, 18, 18, and 18, do 18 times 4 plus 28 equal 100, and the answer is yes, it is. So each shelf is 18 inches long. Okay, now, for those who really enjoy algebra, maybe you're watching this video going, why didn't she use algebra? We have an unknown. And that unknown is the same over and over again. So that would be the same thing as having the equation 4x. And when I add 28, I get the whole thing of 100. So yes, this is the algebraic equation that represents this picture. Okay, so if we go ahead and solve this, what we're going to find is our same answer of 18. For those who would like to solve it, sure, we can do that. Okay. Now, here is the thing. You guys have had a long time in math. So to you, you can kind of go to algebra if it feels like your safe place, or maybe my number crunching I did earlier was your better place. What we have to remember is when you're teaching elementary school kids, they're not going to see algebra unless you're up in 7th and 8th grade and maybe a little bit in 6th grade. So we have to think about how we could problem solve and troubleshoot so that students, your young students, will understand. So that's what this section is kind of thinking about, is what works, what doesn't work, how is your brain working, how are you seeing things, how are you putting it together, what pieces do you think are important. So be thinking about those kinds of things as you're working through these problems. Think about the process more than the answer, all right? Good luck, just keep trying your best.